Hi, I'm Charlotte Brown, and I love J. Ross TV.
Hi, I'm Alphonso, and I love J. Ross TV.
What's up, y'all? This your boy J. Ross hanging out with my peoples, man. We getting it in today, man. But man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's some people in the community, man, that just uplift everybody, man, who has a heart for service. And right now, that's what I'm sitting with, man. Sitting with my girl. Well, I don't want to say my girl Charlotte, because you know we from the hood, but y'all know how we do. This is J. Ross TV. This Hood Rat TV. But anyway, Charlotte and Al. Let me get it straight. Pastor Al, you know. But anyway, man, we here. But I'm gonna let them explain what's going on and how everything came about. So I'm gonna let Al take over and ask the questions, and then Charlotte can go back and forth with Al, and y'all get a gist on what's going on.
Well, you probably can't tell, but this from the way she looks, but she's actually one of my mentors. She's been tutoring me musically and probably in life since I was a little bitty guy. This is Charlotte Brown, and we're here at YGMC. Charlotte, could you tell us about YGMC?
So YGMC stands for Youth Gospel Music Conference.
Yeah.
And YGMC was a project that we started back in 1994. There were about 7 of us who came together to put together a workshop for young people that helped to develop them in the arts and spiritually. And actually, Al's mom was one of the people that was one of the founders of the organization.
Yeah, so wait a minute. So Al, you say she mentors you in what way, in what instrument, or just in particularly in helping you become a young man in life?
Charlotte is a phenomenal musician, keyboard player, organist. Probably at the time one of the premier, probably still is a premier organist in the city, female organist in the city. It wasn't a whole lot of premier female organists, but she was one of them. And at that time when I was growing up playing, she was one that was willing to teach and wasn't arrogant, and she always made room to teach me something. And then I found out her love for even deeper things like sequence, and you know, so she just took me under her wing.
But see, you know, you're talking to a bunch of 6th graders, man. So sequencing mean what?
Putting together music on a keyboard.
Okay. So like with Charlotte, then I mean, you learned to do all this. Where did it start for you? Where did it start for you?
So as a youngster,
Well, how old is young? What's a youngster?
I have 2 loves.
Go ahead.
I love music and I love technology. I got 3 loves because I love Jesus, and that's actually number 1.
Yes, sir.
But when we're talking about the sequencing, when I was a kid, I used to like to take things apart. I always had an interest in technical things, and I ended up going to college and getting a bachelor's degree in electronics engineering. And when I graduated, I worked out in the field for a few years, and something was just pulling me back to music and to being able to reach back to my community and help the kids that were not as fortunate as me to go to school and get all of that experience. And so, you know, when you're a musician, it's not something that you can turn on and turn off, no matter how much you want to. So, you know, I'm out in the corporate world making nice money, and something is pulling me saying, you need to take that music and help some people.
But let me ask you this, y'all. Like, how do you have the mentality to put up with these bad kids? You know what I mean? When they don't want to learn, they want to talk back. So where did that influx of the beauty of your spirit comes out, you know, and able to raise them up or uplift them or something?
So the thing is, just like with adults, when a child is acting out, it's because of something that's going on inside. And so you just need to go deeper than the surface and try and find out, okay, so are you angry? Are you struggling with some things at home? What is it that you're dealing with that's making you act like this? And when you look at it at that level, you get to see where the child may be looking like they're strong, but you see their weakness and their vulnerability, and it gives you a compassion to want to help them.
Yeah.
And it has to be authentic, though. You know, you can't be looking at them like I need to get this kid here so they can come to my church because I need more people in my church. No, you got to have a true desire to want to change lives. And when you can change the life of a child after you dead and gone, that impact is still living. And if it's living right, it's impacting the next generation and the next generation. And that's why I feel so blessed to have the opportunity to do this.
Well, even in saying that, it's sort of like, you know, Al is a protege in a sense. You know, you got him when he was young, he's a pastor now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So something that you've given, part of what you've given along with, you know.
When I was hanging out with her, she probably didn't know at the time I was a gangbanger. I was a thug. You know, I just happened to go to church and happened to have some, you know, parents that love me, but I was still struggling with some things. And part of YGMC, it was something I look forward to every summer, going to and just doing something different, you know, being a part of something different. And I strongly believe that the program YGMC has changed my life as far as that.
Yeah. Is there anything specific that you can point to where CB, well, y'all with Charlotte, you know, poured into you that you can fall back on today, you know, even as a pastor now of your own church?
Oh, definitely. Just the humility that she has. I remember one particular time. Everybody knows that, you know, I tinker with the TalkBox vocoder. And in my earliest stages of doing that, she knew what it was, but didn't really have an understanding of it truly. So instead of stringing me along, she had connections and connected me with somebody that had a bigger knowledge of it, and that person that had the knowledge of it really took me to the next level with it.
Yeah.
So just how I can equate that to pastoring is not all the time we have the answers, but it's cool to be able to plug somebody with somebody that does have the answer.
Yeah. Well, Charlotte, as the organization keep growing, and you know, and your love for it that exponentially grows with it, what can you see, or what do you have planned in the future to leave a legacy, you know, for the next person that comes behind you?
Well, right now, what we do with YGMC, when kids come and they keep coming, we start training them to do what we're doing. You know, there was a time when I was the one that was running around connecting everything and making sure all the music was in place and playing. And now I got time to sit here and talk to you. And I don't worry about anything that's going on downstairs because I know it's handled. And it's handled by people that have come through the conference.
Yeah. Hey, you ever look back and say, man, I wish I had that corporate money, boy. I wish I could, I wish I could get that corporate
money. You know
money.
what? Sometimes I think, well, what would my life look like had I stayed there?
Good one. That's a good one.
And I would have a lot of money, but I would be unhappy.
I feel you.
And also, it'd be a lot of unhappy children running around because there's a lot of people that, you know, grew up in this YGMC that just this summer, 1 week in the summer has changed our lives. So I wonder, you know, I don't want to get the naming names, but just a lot of the choir directors, a lot of the musicians that we know as prominent choir directors, prominent musicians, prominent pastors now that came through YGMC.
Man, that's awesome.
You know, where would they be now? Because we all had an opportunity to get up in front of people and talk, and if that was, you know, what we did, we had the opportunity to play. YGMC and Charlotte gave us an opportunity to teach music, to make mistakes and not get beat up, you know, for making the mistakes that we made.
Yeah. So YGMC. Now y'all got to excuse me, man. But so what's next for the organization itself?
For the organization itself, we want to continue to grow. We want to continue to develop leaders, strong leaders with humility and compassion, especially in this time that we're living in now when the world seems to lack empathy. We want to develop more leaders that can go abroad You know, we've got kids now they're grown now. They out on the East Coast teaching school. Some of them Texas, California. We got some traveling with some of the greatest artists. We're trying not to name names, but
Might as well name some names.
Some of the greatest artists. You
Man.
can name the top artists in gospel music.
Let's just say Kirk Franklin.
Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond. Our musicians are there. If you look on one of Kirk Franklin's recent videos, sitting behind him, there's a keyboard player that at one time was a part of YMGC.
That's nice.
And the thing is, I don't get caught up in, oh, look what I did, look what I got to do, look what I did.
Right.
It's more about, God, thank you for choosing me to do this, and I never want to throw that away. I always want to have a spirit of compassion and grace.
All right, well, tell folks how they can find you and sign up for next year or whenever you guys do it, phone number, website, all that type of noise.
Okay, so our website, actually our parent organization is the Youth Arts and Technology Center. And you can find us at yatcusa.org. And our office number is area code 314-884-8327. You can also look us up on Facebook. We're out there as Youth Gospel Music Conference and as Youth Arts and Technology Center.
All right, Z, you got anything to add, big dog?
No, just happy to be here, happy to be a part, happy to every year have somewhere to come back to and sow a seed.
All right, y'all, this your boy J. Ross, man. We hanging out with the real people, with the good people who doing the real work in the community.